Okay, here we are again. Still wearing my overalls. I'm just taking a quick break here so that we can move on and you can stop watching. I just saw this video before. This was like 13 minutes, so that's probably enough of me talking. But all of that information is important. This one is to wrap up the section and then give you your homework and your assignment for the rest of this week, pretty much, right? Today's already, I don't know what day it is anymore. Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday. So I'll give you your work for the rest of the week. Okay, so fact of the day so that we can get started, and that is there are more tigers living in captivity than there are in the wild. I know you know that because you've all watched Tiger King. I'm on my second round. I'm addicted. I was just joking. I'll give you some other facts of the day, but I just want you guys to hopefully chuckle along with me in how great Joe Exotic and all those other guys are in the Tiger King, and you're watching and laughing with and at them as well. All right, so why do we need the digestive system? Why do we need to break down these molecules into smaller ones? Why do we need to get this stuff into cells? Well, there are two main things that we get out of our food, right? We are heterotrophs, consumers. And so what's nice is we're actually one-stop shoppers where we get our energy and our nutrients in one place, and that is the food that we eat. Where plants, for example, get their energy from the sun, right? And they get their nutrients either from the soil or absorbing it through the atmosphere. So, a little benefit of being a consumer. Energy, of course, is stored in chemical bonds, right? And we break the bonds, we harvest the energy. Over here on the nutrient level, the nutrients are just anything that you need for building blocks of your body. Whatever you need for growth and repair, as well as just basic maintenance of things. And so that includes the big ones. Of course, the number one nutrient is water, carbohydrates, fats, proteins. Those are the other big three molecules that we've looked at already, along with nucleic acids. But we also need good old vitamins and minerals, as I'm sure you've heard many times over. Of course, the number one nutrient is water. There are 101 uses of water, but the basics are it's a good site of chemical reactions. It helps to regulate your body temperature. It cushions your joints. It makes up most of your cells. It helps to move oxygen in and out, move food through your body, absorb as well, not just moving things. And of course, if it wasn't for water, right, urination would be a really gross process. So there's a lot of things that we use water for. Carbohydrates, or polysaccharides and monosaccharides as we call them, are usually our main source of energy. We can get them either in our simple sugars and fruits and candy, obviously, or we can get them in our complex carbohydrates, pastas, grains, breads, things like that. We need our fats or lipids as well, right? You always say, oh, you don't want to eat a lot of fat. Well, remember, every single one of your cells is wrapped in a double layer of fat. Makowitz, who used to teach next door, he used to always say that even the most finely tuned engine needs a little bit of grease. He, of course, was referring to his muscular physique and said that even someone like him was allowed to have a greasy burger every once in a while because a finely tuned engine as himself does need a little grease. But like I said, it's not just every cell in your body is wrapped in it, but all of your nerve cells use them, hormones, insulation, protection, and of course, long term energy storage. A lot of those mammals that hibernate and other animals that need energy, we store it as fat for long term. Where do we get it? Well, we don't just get it from meats and dairy, but we can also get oils in nuts, as you remember from our nutrient lab. Beans as well contain fats and lipids, and my favorite, the old bacon burger. Most of our body is proteins. Our muscles, our bones, our cell parts are proteins. And so we need to take in proteins. We need to take in some form of protein that gives us the essential amino acids that we need for bone and muscle and cell growth. Not to mention, we need things called antibodies right now, right? Things that fight off infection. We can also get a little bit of energy from protein, as well as my favorite word, hemoglobin. And we'll talk about that when we get to the circulatory system. Most of it is dairy and meat, but you can get lots of protein in your beans and certain vegetables as well. Vitamins and minerals, these are what are referred to as your micronutrients. Your carbs, your lipids, and your fats are your macronutrients. You need those in large quantities. Your vitamins and minerals are referred to as micronutrients. They are nutrients. They are still needed, just in smaller quantities, right? That's why you don't take large amounts of iron, even though you need iron in your blood. And so there's your fact of the day, since I was joking about the Joe Exotic thing earlier, is that you have enough iron in your blood to produce a 4-inch nail. So that's one of the examples of minerals that our body needs in, smaller quantities. But these are the things like calcium, magnesium, right? Those are minerals. Vitamins are just other organic or inorganic molecules that help with enzyme action usually. We need enzymes to either be parts of vitamins or vice versa. So it's pretty interesting, and we need them for everything. Okay, so that wraps up our section on digestion. So by Friday, you should be done with 149, hopefully, and then you're going to keep moving 150 through to 152. Okay, so you should be done with H152 by Friday, and that will cover the digestive system. I'm going to hopefully get word to see if I can get into the building so I can get a bunch of my demo stuff, and the wife and kids have volunteered to be my lab partners, and hopefully we'll get to do some labs somehow, or at least see some demonstrations of some labs that I would normally be doing right now, to help you to understand the circulatory and other systems. But there are a couple pen and paper labs that you will be doing on your own shortly. So stay tuned. And from Biology in the Basement, this is Mr. Andraco signing off.